Hello, my name is Matthias Cavodi. I'd like to welcome you guys to my channel. Today we're going to talk about a really good tie-in into the Fear Itself crossover, because the crossover itself, at least I didn't like it very much. Like, Marvel was putting out too many crossovers back. This is 2011. Up until that point, during most of the 2000s, a lot of them were really good, but when we reached the Fear Itself crossover, like, the quality I felt just went down. It wasn't as good as the predecessors. There was a whole situation where we had the return of Odin's brother that I had no idea existed. Well, they invented it for that story. So they had to retcon a bunch of stuff that I hate when they retcon things on that level. He's the god of fear. And when he arrives, like, a bunch of hammers, I think like 8 hammers, correct me if I'm wrong, fall to the earth, where he gets the situation which I call the generals, like a bunch of villains. They're really powerful, get these hammers, they come more powerful. They're just on the level of Thor. One of these guys is Juggernaut. So, like, Juggernaut was already unstoppable. Now with a hammer like Thor's, it's going to be even worse. And these generals cause chaos across the planet. And obviously all these hammers are basically, when I saw them, all the tie-ins. So in this case, this particular tie-in, it's pretty good. I did enjoy it. We get the birth of Juggerlossus, a particular incarnation of Juggernaut that, at least for me, I really liked. So we're going to cover Uncanny X-Men 540 to 543. It's written by Kieron Gillen. Does a pretty good job. Really shows off how much of a badass leader Cyclops is in this particular story. And art by Greg Land. That sometimes I really like his art, and sometimes it feels really weird and awkward. Like, the way he draws smiles, like everyone looks like they're in a toothbrush commercial, and sometimes the faces of the women and even the men in the stories look like they're having sex or having orgasms. It's really weird. I discovered recently that Greg Land uses porn for his models and stuff like that. So that explains a lot. So in this case, Juggernaut, he's making his way to San Francisco, part of the campaign of chaos that the Serpent has embarked across the world. All these characters with the hammers have weird Asgardian names. I can't remember. I think he's called Kurth or something like that. When he's getting to San Francisco, there's this poor guy at the gas station. He makes him like one of his followers so he can bring even more chaos to the situation. The story really shows off what a badass leader Cyclops is, and when things get tough, he's going to take some pretty hard decisions. We have the whole situation with Magic. She was in prison. She did some pretty messed up stuff, I think, in the New Mutant series. I have to go back and reread what she did. She did something terrible. So they have this exploding device tied to her so she doesn't make a move for it. Here's what I'll tell you guys. Like, everyone looks really horny in these stories. Namor is going to go off to one of the Fear Itself tie-ins with the Defenders, but he wants to give White Queen a last goodbye. As traditionally with Namor, he wants to bang someone else's wife, be it Sue Richards this case, White Queen. And so White Queen is not really down. Like, they were sort of flirty, but she's like not down with the idea of crossing the line. So the X-Men are informed of the situation. Juggernaut's coming. And again, like, Kieron Gillen puts people in really weird poses. I guess he sees these images where he gets his ideas and he wants to put them into the story. So people sometimes are standing or have their arms or look or smile in really weird ways. Things feel really weird with Greg's art. But in this case, like, the action is really well done. It's really well written. So Cyclops has like about 40 contingency plans in how to deal with Juggernaut and this insanely more powerful version of the Juggernaut. So what happens in each one of these issues is his plan A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and how every single plan just doesn't seem to work, and he has to go to one contingency plan to another. But thing is, the first confrontation, basic X-Men lineup, all of them take a swipe at Juggernaut, and Obviously, nothing stops him. Magneto uses his magnetic powers and crushes his helmet on Juggernaut's head. It's not enough. He throws his hammer. This is a really awesome moment. He throws his hammer at Mags, and he can't stop it because the hammer is unstoppable. So Kitty Pryde saves his life. Then we get Hope, who I really didn't like the big reveal that Hope's power set outside of giving mutants their powers back or something like that. So you can copy other mutants' powers. So she was just like Rogue or Mimic or so many other characters, or Singe, that can copy other people's powers. Like, it didn't feel too original, but in this case, she absorbs a bunch of mutants' powers, totally unleashes on Juggernaut, but it's not enough. Queen tries to get into Juggernaut's mind, and things go terribly with them for that. And there's another moment where Avalanche opens this giant canyon in the ground, a hole in the ground, and Juggernaut just walks over it. In this whole story, Cyclops never loses his cool. He just is really focused in trying to resolve the situation. And so we see one situation after another where our heroes just can't stop him. So he goes to a really cool idea where they ask Magic to go to the Sidorak dimension where Juggernaut, the normal Juggernaut, gets his powers, to talk with the demon that fuels, because Juggernaut's like an avatar of chaos of the Sidorak. Magic goes with Kitty Pryde and Colossus, while the heroes, one mutant after another, gets defeated by this evil Asgardian Sidorak fusion Juggernaut. So there's even a moment where Magneto drops a aircraft carrier on the Juggernaut. That's so awesome. So what happens is Colossus makes a deal with Sidorak. He becomes the new avatar of destruction. We have the birth of Juggerlossus. And the showdown between Juggernaut and Colossus it's really well done. Like, again, I sort of poked fun at Greg Land's style, awkward pose and stuff, but the action is really good. And the X-Men have a big issue with Cyclops' plans, but like, Cyclops justifies himself. Look, we have to resolve this problem. Caught off guard with the situation with the Colossus being the new Juggernaut. So what happens is Colossus now, who's always sort of been like this gentle soul and artist, has to deal with being the Juggernaut, being fueled with this need of destruction. And it just really messes up with poor Peter Rasputin having to deal with the situation. This destroys his relationship with Shadowcat. Like, the sacrifice he goes through to be able to stop this menace of the original Juggernaut destroying Utopia. It's like a really big sacrifice. So you're going to see like a Colossus that's really suffering, having to deal with a lot of bad shit. And but Juggerlossus himself, he's going to get a lot of attention during the X-Men versus Avengers crossover. So I'm going to leave it here. I hope you guys liked it. What did you guys think about Juggerlossus? And see you guys next time. Bye.